gmail.com.
Okay. Oh, good. We're live.
We're live on Zoom, waiting on Facebook to connect and get us all set up.
Oh, great. It says meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
Oh, it does say that?
Mhm.
Oh, good. Okay, so it does say that.
It says that on my end. Let me check on my phone.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm not seeing it. Did you post it on there? People are watching us talk about this.
Oh, good. Right. Look, we all trying
There
to
we
figure out
are.
this
I
new
see
modern
it.
way of doing everything.
Hi,
Oh,
everybody.
there we are. Okay, beautiful. All right. So let's get this party started. Let me yay, there we are. Let me come down here and let me come back up here and yay, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Uh-oh. Wait. Trying to learn all of this is just amazing. Oh my God.
We learn as we go, right? As we do this. Hi, everybody.
We learn as we go. That is true. Let's see. There we are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. It's a rainy evening here in the Chicagoland area, but I'm super excited to be here with you guys. As you all know, we're in the midst of corona, or not coronavirus. Well, it is coronavirus, but we're calling it COVID-19, a global pandemic that has affected the lives of so many people across the globe. I'll give you guys the update on the numbers here in the state of Illinois, as well as we'll talk about a few entertainment things. But we have two amazing guests who are joining us this evening, and I'll introduce our co-host and first guest in just a few moments. Want to remind you guys that this show is seen via Zoom each and every night, 7 until 8:30 p.m. Javon DeLynn Dunnigan is normally my host Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursday evenings. And on Wednesdays, we have very special guest co-hosts who stop by to help me out with the show. And I'll introduce our co-hosts in just a little bit. We're on Facebook Live. We're on Art Sims' page, as well as our co-host is on her page as well, too. Please join us, like, share, put your feedback on the Facebook page. I'll read it off as it comes in. But I'm just so excited to present our co-host this evening. She's an actress. She's absolutely gorgeous, but she is the president and CEO of Laura Orrico Public Relations. Not only is she a bad mama jamma in PR, but she's a really down-to-earth, wonderful woman, and I'm honored to call her my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our very special co-host tonight, the one and only Laura Orrico. Hey.
Oh, yay. Thank you for having me. What a beautiful introduction. You always do the sweetest intros, and you're amazing. I just love talking with you. You're a dear friend, and you're great at what you do. So I'm happy to be here, and it's my pleasure.
Well, Laura, it's always a pleasure to hang out and talk with you. Whenever I do something, you're always the first to say, I have your back, I support you. You've been a co-host on my radio show several times. And I said, now that we're doing this new way of communicating with our public, I said, well, you know what? She needs to do the Zoom show with me as well, too. And believe it or not, this Zoom show is actually doing pretty well.
Yeah, I believe it. I'm seeing all the people that are tuning in live, and you got a great background. I love it. This is wonderful.
Thank you. The chat room.
Lights up. We're supposed to put up our Christmas lights to show positivity.
I like it.
So I have Easter eggs hanging, Easter basket in the background somewhere. I think it fell. But making do with what we got, right now while we're at home.
Yes, absolutely. Laura, for a lot of people who are not familiar with you, please give my audience your background. You're actually a Hollywood actress and you've done quite a few major roles, and we just want to give you some love and adoration. So tell my audience all about your background and career prior to you becoming the PR expert that you are today.
Thank you. So I started out as a model when I was in high school. So I went on from modeling to TV acting, writing and producing, but I did mostly television. I did bigger parts in more well-known TV shows like King of Queens, CSI Miami, Kevin Can Wait on CBS. I do a lot with WGN and their morning sketches with Jeff Hoover and those guys over there. And then I've done,
Yeah, I love those guys.
yeah, oh, they're a blast. And lots of movies, independent films and smaller parts and bigger, well-known films. And I just love it. You know, it's my passion. But I started the PR firm 4 years ago on April 4th, which was a few days ago, which was a way to honor and memorialize my husband. He passed away 5 years ago. So I figured, I was launching the company. I figured, what a great date to start it on his birthday, celebrate him. And I like to, in moving forward with my life, remember him in a great way. And I think that makes that day that could be otherwise kind of difficult a little happier, because I know he'd be proud of me.
Yes, he would. Yes, he would. And you know, you and I oftentimes talk about, you know, the highs and lows of being in the entertainment business
Sure.
and keeping yourself relevant and marketable. And I was so glad when you agreed that tonight we would talk to my audience about things that they can do to keep themselves relevant and marketable. Because, you know, as we all know, the economy was moving and sipping along, and then all of a sudden a global pandemic hits us, and now we have 6.6 million people unemployed.
Devastating, right? Scary, uncertain times, devastating. And I think all we can do now is control what we can. So I'm a big believer in trying to not get too stressed out, but taking control of the things you can. So making lists and prioritizing things to take care of that you can do now. So whether you're trying to keep your brand, build your brand, or using this time to start something new, I'm a big list maker. So I think that is so important, to know your value right now, know your worth. So if you're working in the entertainment industry, what can you do? Okay, I can't do live shows right now. I can't tour. But you can do what we're doing. You can entertain people from home, keep relevant, stay present, make new fans, make new friends, and keep people in the loop with what you're doing and being able to enjoy your work, whether you're a singer, an actor, or whatever you're doing. I got a friend who performs at retirement homes, and he's out performing in the parking lot at retirement homes, and they're watching him from their windows. I mean, what a beautiful thing. These people are cooped
Wow.
up and camping
Right.
out, and they're and people can't visit them. So Frank Rossi is his name. He's a Chicago local, and that's what he's doing. And I'm like, what an amazing thing. You know, what now people are going to remember that when the economy jumps back. People are going to remember the things that he did to entertain people and to help people through a difficult time. So it all comes back full circle.
Oh, I love it. I really do. I think that's something to do with your time, your energy. You know, we always tell people on this show to reinvent yourselves now that you're at home. And for those of you all that have been shuttering in place, we want to commend you guys. You know, that order is in effect until April 30th.
Right.
Today, Mayor Lori Lightfoot has put her foot down, and now she's closing all liquor stores in the city of Chicago at 9 p.m. at night. And a lot of people, Laura, are saying that maybe the liquor store should close earlier than 9 p.m. because in certain neighborhoods, we do have what we consider, as we say on the South Side, a lot of folks still congregate. And so it's not a good thing. And so do you think that they may have to enforce more rules to keep people to stay in the house?
Nobody wants enforcement. Nobody wants to be told what to do, where to go. But this is, like I said earlier, a dangerous and unusual time. So people are misunderstanding how serious it is. They're thinking it's just elderly or just people with pre-existing conditions. It's not. I know friends of friends and friends who have family members who have passed away that were young, perfectly healthy. This is serious. So unfortunately, it's going to ruin it for everybody else. You know, if you can go sit on your porch with your family that's already in your home, fine. But if you're going to throw a party and, you know, congregate 10 or more people that have been exposed to who knows what, they've been in the grocery store, they're not washing their hands, and they're bringing that to you. And then there's 10 more people that things that they've touched, the germs just go on and on and on. So yeah, I think she's doing the right thing. It stinks that it has to be done, but it does.
Yes, it does. It does. I agree with you 100%. My little birdies have been telling me that at some point, the entire city may have to be on lockdown, period. That only if you have to go to work, essential workers would be able to be out in the streets. And I know the city of Chicago police officers are doing checkpoints in all of the communities throughout the city after
Yeah.
10 p.m. at night to just kind of remind people, listen, get in the house, do what you need to do, or as we say on this show, Laura, keep your ass in the house. That's what I said tonight. Yeah, so just know, Laura, I'm gonna say it several times.
That's all
Keep
right.
your ass in the house. Because right, just I know, look, may not be the best way to say it, but it's the way that people understand.
True, and find something to do. You can pick up the phone and call a friend, organize something, clean something, get to that task you've been wanting to do, back to that to-do list. If you have a business you want to start, do your business plan. You want to write a book, write your book, do something. Make your time and your use of it effective. Be creative.
Yes.
And
You know,
your business, it's unfortunate and it stinks, but have a plan for the future and think of things that you can do that are going to drum up business and make your worth effective right now.
well, and here's how we're gonna kind of kick off the hot topic. Let me do this real quick, the news, and then you and I will continue.
Yeah.
Health officials reported more than 1,529 new cases of coronavirus known as COVID-19.
Yeah.
82 additional deaths as of today, Wednesday, bringing the state total of cases to 15,000 and the death toll to 462 cases. And so, Laura, I'm kind of wondering, I've talked to a couple of friends of mine in private who said, I tested positive. I thought maybe I had it maybe in January or February, didn't know what it was, really was not feeling well. I wonder, would you actually, at this point, you and I both are healthy, we feel great, we talk to each other, but we also take care of other people. We have, other stressful situations. Not only are we business owners and people in the public eye, but we also care for our loved ones. Would you, at this point, Laura, go get a test? Would you want to be tested?
Right now I'm okay, so I don't think I need to be because I haven't left the house. And when I do, I'm wearing a mask and gloves and sanitizing like crazy. But if I was exposed and I felt I was exposed to someone who had it, I would. Yeah, if it was necessary, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And these hospital workers and everybody, I have friends who are nurses and people who work in administration. They're in the front lines. They're exposed. They're out there. They're working for us. They're keeping everybody safe and healthy. And because of that, people need to listen. People need to stay home and only go out when it's necessary. I stocked up with groceries for me and my mother, did a drop at her house for 2 weeks. So we're good. I'm not going anywhere unless I absolutely have to. Pharmacy or something like that. But
right. Yes. No, matter of fact, tomorrow is my day to go do what I need for the next 2 weeks. My friends often tease me. I often would joke about what grandma would say and what grandma would do. And I was raised by my maternal grandmother.
Right.
And she was a person who taught me to stock up, stock up, stock up. And so really, I only need to go out for fresh items, fresh bread, fresh produce, fresh dairy, things like that. But I could hunker down in the house for at least another 30 days and not be like, I do enjoy going out to get air. Today, a good friend of mine took me out to get me an iced coffee, and but because otherwise I'd be in here. But I said this last night on the show. The only problem is when I come out the house, I'm like that kid who has been in for, I'm like, oh, the sun. I'm like a vampire,
I know. Look at how pasty white I am. I went for a walk today by myself, and it's funny. It's like playing chicken now. I hate to, you got to find the humor even in a difficult time. But it's like playing chicken now with your neighbors. People 20, 30 feet away start, who's going to make the walk? Who's going to? So some of them are going across the street. I'll do it if it's a couple with kids or when an elderly couple. I make sure I keep my distance. We're yelling, talking across the street. It's a new norm, temporary, please, temporary. I know.
Well, Laura, here's the funniest thing.
Mhm.
We've experienced a lot of things. You're young. In my case, I'm an old fuddy dud. But here's the
Yeah,
deal: we've seen a lot of things in our lifetime.
yes, we have.
But Laura, did you ever think that we would experience a global pandemic? And here's the deal: we haven't had anything quite like this since 1919,
I
and it
know.
was the Spanish flu. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just, we've had other horrific things, of course, like 9/11 and things like that. But we're talking about something that really has shut a lot of people down, and we've had a lot of deaths as a result of it.
Oh, it's terrifying. I have a grandmother who just turned 100 in February. And thank
She
God we were
did.
able. Yeah, she's such a
And
sweetheart.
she's feisty still, and
And she's
still fights.
feisty. Yeah, she's in her assisted living home, but go figure. We had this big party, thank God. We were able to get the party in. But she turns 100 all these years, healthy and everything, and now she's stuck and we can't visit her. And she's so bored. I'm like, oh my gosh, go figure. You make it to 100 and now you feel like you're grounded. You know what I
Right.
mean? But we talk on the phone at least every day. All the family members, cousins, my uncles, everyone takes turns. My mom calling her, but and her husband, my grandfather, he was a baby during the Spanish flu. He was two. He was born 1917. So you look at that and you're like, wow, what this amount of time has gone by. So there's something to be said about that. I think once we get control of this, we get the vaccines going, that's going to take some time to test and they get cures and whatever we need, medication that's working for it. I'm glad they're trying a lot of different things, but hopefully we can get back to normal soon. Because this is, like you
Yeah,
said, never before have we seen this.
I agree with you 100% that this is just something that has just devastated so many people. Yesterday we were trying to calm and soothe my audience because they were saying that, the African American cases were much higher because of health issues and financial restrictions and things like that.
Yeah,
And so I said, who would be a better guest than you to kind of just tell people how to pull themselves up from their bootstraps and make the most out of times like now. For a lot of independent contractors, for a lot of freelancers, we're looking at barbers, nail techs, beauticians,
yeah.
Uber and Lyft drivers, people that are artists, graphic artists, whatever the case may be. What are some tips that you want to give us to keep ourselves relevant in a day and age? Because again, you're really not supposed to be cutting hair right now,
Right.
but you recommend that we do.
Oh, no, I don't right now. Of course, I have a ton of friends. I can't even go to my own hairdresser. My hair is currently wrapped around the bottom of my chair. It's so long. I'm kidding. But I think continuing education, updating licenses, taking care of the things, again, going back to what you can control, practicing new cuts, colors on family and friends who are in your house. If you have a roommate, do something with them. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, and you got to just get creative. We've got some entertainer clients, like I said, that are doing the online shows and the free streaming shows and using that time. My PR business right now is busy because everybody's looking for a positive story. So looking for ways to share positive news in a time where everything else is kind of negative and it's difficult to watch that. It could throw you into a depression if you're tuned into the news all day, watching all negative things. So that's how we're able to utilize our work with what I'm doing now. But like you said, what are the Uber drivers going to do? What are the restaurants? They're doing takeout as much as they can, but they've had to let go a significant amount of employees and staff. So that's difficult. So then they got to plan ahead. People have to think of once this is over, what can they do to kind of make up for that time? Whether it's having a
Right.
friend and giving people something to look forward to is important during a difficult time. So utilizing your creative skills to plan something in the future, but staying in touch with people on social media for your businesses, whether you're a public figure or it's a business, keeping in touch with people like we are on social media is important to stay relevant.
You know what? I have to thank my normal, regular co-host. You're our special co-host tonight, but Javon Delaney Donegan was the one who said to me, "Listen, Chat Daddy, you got to keep that ball rolling. rolling. You've got to keep that brand moving. And she did all the research and told me what I needed to do. And she said, listen, you already have an at-home office, and who knew that it would make for a perfect backdrop for me to broadcast from. But you're right. You've got to continue to keep yourself out there, keep yourself relevant. And then one of the things that I found out that has become very helpful is that I actually joined as many social media platforms as possible. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. I am on, Facebook. I have fan pages, all of that. I'm even thinking about being on TikTok at this point, Laura.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think I need to be on TikTok so I can do some, moving and grooving. I don't know. How do you feel about social media now? Is it too much, or do we need to maybe step it up a little bit? Did we lose you? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I think we've lost Laura. Uh-oh. Wait. Hey, I think we've lost our guest. We're waiting on her to reconnect with us. The weather is kind of bad here in the Chicagoland area. With that being said, until she can join us back again, and I think she may be on her way to joining us in just a few moments. Congratulations to our good friend, Mr. Tyler Perry. As you guys all know, Tyler Perry is forever impressing us with all the amazing things that he continues to do. Not only does he own the world's largest film studio in Atlanta, today Tyler Perry did something that I thought was just absolutely extraordinary. He paid for senior hour groceries at 44 Kroger stores in the Atlanta area today and 29 stores in the New Orleans area today. And these were at stores that, again, seniors shop at, stores in areas where people really could use the help, use the boost. And we're just very proud of Tyler Perry for what he has done and making it, all work for people who need that help and that assistance. And we're just glad that our brother Tyler Perry stands up and does what he needs to do. We're waiting on our very special guest. Thank you guys so much who are tuned in via Zoom or either on Facebook Live. Please do me a favor, share. Hit the share button. We definitely need you guys to share as much as you possibly can. Continue to just hit the share button. Tell people about the show. For more information, you can always go to therealchatdaddy.com. Again, that's therealchatdaddy.com. The link is posted on my website every day. All you have to do is click on that link, and that link will direct you right to the Zoom page each and every night. The show is on Monday through Thursday night from 7 until 8:30 p.m. Last night, we had the honor and pleasure of talking to two legendary DJs, DJ Vince Adams and DJ Ron Troop, and they talked about their lifelong friendship, how they inspired each other, but most importantly, how they are actually keeping people happy, peaceful, and tranquil, almost couldn't say that, via their music that they're putting out on social media platforms. We're waiting on our very special guest co-host to come back and join us. She was sharing tips with us on how you can continue to, hold on a second. Oh, here she is. Yay, she is back.
No idea what happened.
That's all right. Look, Laura, all we know is the screen kind of froze and you just faded into the distance. That's okay, because I played it off. I faked it. I did whatever was
good. Told I had
and wait a minute. Okay, so she's back. Ladies and gentlemen, our co-host tonight, who kind of disappears whenever she feels like disappearing, is the one and only Laura Orrico, public relations professional, also Hollywood actress, all around great woman. I just love and adore her. She's been on the radio with me several times on the show as co-host and good friend, and I just love her. She's here tonight to talk to us about how to re-spark that fire. A lot of you may have lost your jobs. A lot of you may be independent contractors. A lot of you may have jobs that are closed down right now. Bartender, waiter, waitress, cook, nail tech, barber, whatever it is, and you like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Not only are you not making money right now, but you also need to figure out ways of how to rebrand yourself. Once this is all over, you want people to be able to come back to you and continue to use you. And here's the deal. It's gonna be so many people out here, Laura, who are gonna be like, listen, I'm gonna give haircuts for $3 just to get everybody in. And so that means, you know, where I pay $25 to go get groomed, and I may want to consider the $3 person. How do you think people are gonna be, how do you think advertising is gonna look once this pandemic is over?
I think everybody's going to be anxious and excited to get out and start again. So I think, yeah, offering deals is a great option. But at the same time, everybody's going to need those haircuts. All this stuff is going to be in demand. Everybody's going to be dying to go out to the movies, to go bowling again, to get out and play and go see concerts and go to sporting events. So I think everything is going to make a big comeback. It's just a matter of when it's going to be safe to do so, and how everybody's going to go about it. So it's kind of an equal balance right now. We're all kind of saving money in different ways. And then unfortunately, a lot of people are out of work. So they're not able to save money because they're having to keep up with their bills. There's been a lot of programs that are available that you can get now through the government, which is amazing. But saving, cutting out unnecessary bills. Nobody wants to stop using a business right now, but at the same time, gym membership, most gyms have froze their accounts anyway. Mine did. They're not billing anybody right now. But things like that.
Well, not to cut you off, Laura, but I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people were saying on social media that these gyms had actually hit them for that month fee when this entire situation had went down. When they first closed gyms down, people were like, damn, my gym just hit me for that monthly membership fee. So I'm glad you're saying that maybe they've now suspended charging people.
Hopefully, yeah, my gym prorated the month of March. So they're going to refund us back that and then not charging for April until further notice. And, you know, some people aren't going to be able to afford to go back. You know, as kind as that is, that's great. We got to think realistically. So that's an opportunity for them to offer a deal. So people that are struggling during this, and most are, to offer a deal so you can keep your clientele, no matter what you're doing. And I'm sure our next guest would be able to weigh in on some of that as well from a fitness perspective.
Oh, he will. I'm excited. Coming up on the show in just a little bit at the 7:45 mark of the show tonight, fitness expert Mario Koonce will join us this evening. And Mario's going to talk to us about what we need to do to kind of keep ourselves fit and healthy during this global pandemic. He just joined us. He'll be talking to us at 7:45 tonight, as well as he's going to talk about things to eat healthy as well too, and then the impact that it has made on his business, because people would come in to actually work out, and now they can't come in to even work out. And you know, Laura, I was kind of told that this may go into June. And, you know, today, Wuhan, China celebrated that their ban has been lifted, and it allows them to now go out and be free and do what they need to do. But just like the look on your face, Laura, a lot are skeptical about that. Honey, I know I'm skeptical. I don't know if I necessarily would be on my way to any place near China right away. And no disrespect, some of my dears of the Chinese culture, race, and background, but I don't know necessarily be in any hurry.
No, just because numbers are improving, I mean, the danger still exists, so we can't get too excited and too confident. And the weather's getting better, and people want to start getting out, and this is the time we have to stay in and be careful right now. And then the sooner we do that, I think the quicker we can get back in action. But it's a matter of getting people to follow this and listen. Nobody wants to do it, but we're all in the same boat, the whole world. So, yeah.
Oh, I want to give another shout out to Tyler Perry. One of my reliable sources in Hot Atlanta, the ATL, said that Tyler Perry also gave out $21,000 in tip money to out-of-work servers in the Atlanta area. Isn't that great? Laura, while you were trying to fix your web situation to join us again, we talked about the fact that Tyler Perry paid for groceries at grocery stores in Atlanta for people during senior hour today. And it was just amazing. thing. He did it in New Orleans and he did it in Atlanta. And so everybody's talking about just how amazing that was today of what he did.
Oh, that's wonderful. What a great thing. The people who can do it are, and that's what's amazing. People are
Yes.
helping in different ways, whether, doing what he did, or I know friends that are volunteering, making masks and sending those out. So many things that you can do right now to help the communities.
Right. Last night, Lady Gaga announced that she's having this wonderful concert April 18th. And all of the evening hosts of late night television, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, they're all going to be the MCs for this wonderful occasion. And it's not costing people anything. She's not raising any money. She has Lizzo and a whole bunch of other wonderful performers. Do you think more celebrities will jump on the bandwagon of giving back to people in this time of need?
Sure. I think there's going to be a lot. I think Kanye West announced something today too. Did you see that?
Oh, he did. Yeah, I did. Right. I saw it last minute before I ran in to sit down.
Yeah, so he's doing something. I'll have to look into that later when we come back. I'll look that up. But yeah, I think a lot of them are doing great things. I did that free concert, I think it was a couple Sundays ago, where a lot of big artists did a nice performance. They streamed from their living rooms, and what a great thing. Giving
I
people
know. I
all
think it's
sitting
so.
at home and we're tuned in. So it's a good thing for up and coming artists too to get on board with that. Utilize the digital age we live in and social media. Learn it. If you don't know how, do it.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I tell people. I said, listen, you've got to sit down, figure it out, look at how it best would work for you. I never in a million years thought about doing this Zoom thing. We said at the beginning of the week that the sales of tops have been skyrocketing because most of us have on a really nice top and probably damn near bottom. Right. Damn near nothing on the bottom, right? So that's why none of us need to stand up during these broadcasts.
I've got jeans on, I swear.
Well, I'm not going to stand up during this broadcast, but that's they were saying that the sale of tops have really skyrocketed,
Sure.
and people are really this is a free platform that now has millions of people who have become a part of Zoom, and so we never would have thought this to be 2 years ago.
Right, exactly. Who knew? And then you got to think of the things that are selling right now. What businesses are doing well? Well, look at that, clothing. People are ordering tops online, so people can get and sell tops. Make
I
them
love
in
it.
their homes.
So what have you been doing in your spare time just to keep yourself occupied? I know you say you've been walking. Have you been cooking more?
Yeah, I'm one who loves to go out and eat, so I can't wait to be able to do that again. I love to cook, but because I already work from home, at the end of the day, when everybody else goes home from work, I'm still here. So I'm used to this, but it's the not being able to get out after work and on the weekends that's really driving me nuts. So I'm cooking a lot, cleaning and organizing things. Like I said, the business has been unusually busy, so I'm working a little bit longer than I normally would. So getting out and walking is important. Fresh air and exercise. I'm opening the windows in the house, especially these last few days. Catching up on the phone with friends, purging and getting rid of stuff. Have my Goodwill pile, things to get rid of, things to give to friends, things to throw out. As much as
I've been doing. Yeah, I've been doing the same thing as well too. Every day, my goal has been to clean out the drawer in my home. You know how you'll have cabinets, curios, just and so every day has been like, listen, take this drawer, go through this drawer and figure out what you don't need in the drawer anymore. And what you'll find is if it's like your junk drawer, you'll find things that you're like, I've been looking for those cufflinks, or I couldn't find this ring, or whatever the case may be. And it really has been quite therapeutic just to be able to straighten out and go through various things every day.
It really is. Doesn't it feel good to get rid of stuff and to organize and, like you said, to find things that didn't even realize were missing? Ooh,
Right. Well, you know what? Since Coach Mario is here and he's a part of this, Coach Mario, We're going to bring you in just a little bit early because I know you have a lot to share with us, and Laura and I can talk all night long. Coach Mario Koonce is really a wonderful gentleman. He is a vanguard of fitness. He'll tell us all about his company. And Coach Mario, what I want to talk to you first about the impact that COVID-19 has had on a business like yours where people actually come out and work out and try to get their fitness in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Coach Mario Koonce, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Loving the opportunity.
Beautiful. And have you met our wonderful co-host, Laura Orrico?
I have not, but I'm privileged to have an opportunity to meet her now. Very nice to meet you.
Hi, Mario.
Very
So
good.
nice to meet you as well. Thanks for being on tonight.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
Coach, tell us about your background, and then let's talk about the impact that this global pandemic has had on your business.
it has had a significant impact on not just my business, but businesses like mine. The health and wellness industry, like many other industries, has taken a significant hit. Getting in a little bit about my background, I have a bachelor's of science from Western Illinois University. My master's in business is from Loyola University, Chicago. I'm an exercise rehabilitation therapist and also a physical therapist. I am a certified personal trainer through the International Sports Sciences Association. I'm a certified silver sneakers instructor. That is a fitness program that's geared toward older adults, and that's run through an organization called Tivity Health. I'm a two-time MPC overall bodybuilding champion, amateur bodybuilder, never went professional, but I just enjoyed competing and that sort of thing. I specialize in weight loss and weight management, sport-specific training for athletes, football, baseball, golf, and basketball. And I conduct health and wellness seminars and workshops for groups and individuals.
Wow.
So
Good.
that's,
Go ahead, Laura.
I was going to say that's fascinating,
thank you.
Mario. And what are you able to do coaching sessions online or anything like that? Has that been
Yeah,
something?
absolutely, and that's really been the way to go. So the biggest change in what I've been what I do is through the use of technology. So not just online actual instruction with exercise and that sort of thing, but also with I'm a certified nutritionist, so meal planning, development, that sort of thing, and online fitness and comprehensive health screenings. So that is another aspect of what I do that is transferable. Now, of course, there's no substitute for the hands-on, activity
Right.
that's involved with what I do. But in times like these, you have to make adjustments.
Yeah. Well, I hope it's working out well. I mean, especially now, people need it. So I'm sure a lot of people are catching on, and I hope getting the word out tonight helps.
I hope so too. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so Art, if I may, I wanted to kind of jump into one of the topics that I shared with you, and that's really the significance of being fit. And I think we're seeing the impact of that more than ever now. If one thing COVID-19 has shown us is that overall health and fitness has a significant impact with how you're able to deal with certain stressors and situations like the ones that we're dealing with now. Um, and being physically fit, a lot of people kind of get that misconstrued. It's not just about how much weight you're able to sling around. Being fit also has to do with a person's mental state. If a person can be physically fit, however, they could be mentally unwell or troubled. In that sense, they're not able to function optimally. So really, when you think about fitness, it's the mental aspect as well as the physical aspect. People that are going to be that tend to be more fit, they're going to be healthier, obviously. They're able to maintain their optimal or ideal weight. They're less prone to debilitating health concerns and issues. And in order to maintain a general relaxed state of mind, a person should be physically active.
Absolutely. I imagine being somebody who's older or handicapped and more sedentary. My mother has MS.
Okay.
And then my grandmother's in assisted living. So right now, not being able to get outside or interact with people, I had to stop my mom's physical therapist from coming to the house just
Yeah,
for precautionary reasons.
of course.
I'd actually like to talk to you after this because I'd like to hire you for a session.
No, please
her.
do.
But
Oh,
what do you recommend for people people to do on their own when they're sitting at home and they're kind of alone and they don't have someone to help them? But what can they do while they're stuck, on their couch all day or sitting at the table? What can they do at home?
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually, I've got a segment on that I wanted to focus on. If I can, if I can just table that for just a sec, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, I've got a lot of different solutions and recommendations that I can offer to, the viewers tonight. Just a really quick, some of the other benefits, because a lot of times people look for, and if maybe I'm not looking to look like a supermodel, or maybe I'm not looking to be able to be as athletically adept as I was in my teenage years. Well, there's still a ton of benefits to just being fit in a general sense. Number one, you're going to save more money. I mean, think about the medical costs that are associated with being unwell and unfit. Medications and doctor's visits and medical supplies and accessories and that sort of thing, not to mention prescription drugs. So there's a ton of money that you are able to save and hold on to when you are more physically fit. Increased life expectancy. The fourth leading cause of worldwide mortality rates is physical inactivity. People that just don't move. Right. It's been shown that individuals that are more physically fit tend to live anywhere from 2 to 4 years longer than individuals that are sedentary. Now, that might not seem like a lot. Someone might say, 2 years, I can sit on my butt. Yeah, I'll sacrifice 2 years. Think about what you can do in 2 years. I mean, you could get a degree. You could volunteer and help someone. You could reconnect with your family. There's a ton of things that you could do with that time. So let's not use it wisely and make the sacrifice and spend the time dedicating it toward yourself. So that's kind of the way that I look at it. Your improved quality of life. Of course, everyone would like to live to a ripe old age. However, quality of life makes a big difference. Do you want to age and be dependent on ventilators or carry around an oxygen tank or have to take 14, 15 different medications? Right. Or be bedridden? It's more advantageous to an individual to, as you age in as healthy a manner as possible. Yeah. What was the other top? Oh, and then again, when I get back to when I was referring to quality of life and making sure that you are fit, think about the things that you're able to do that you might not otherwise be able to do when you are physically fit. Think about how many people that you might know that can't participate in certain activities just because of the way they feel. They hurt, they're sore, they're aches and pains, that sort of thing. One of the individuals as a physical therapist and exercise rehab therapist, I run across individuals all the time that have joint issues. And I'm just going to focus on knees, osteoarthritis for one. Every pound of body weight that you lose relieves 4 pounds of stress on the knee joints. So just by losing a pound, you can relieve 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. So weight loss is key to that. Oh, wow. And right now, we're all so sedentary and eating more. I mean, we're all stocked with food. So I have this crazy Cheez-It addiction. So I'm like, I have to stop. I mean, really. And then how long does it take for a person for every day you sit and you're sedentary? Yes. How long are you setting yourself back? Oh, wow. It's a lot like a skill that you develop. And I'll give you a perfect example. It's a lot like, and I'll use myself as the example, right? I took 4 years of Spanish, okay? Never really used it. Right. Now, really, the only thing that I could really recite in Spanish would be, me llamo es Maria, Right. Other than that, I'm lost. Yeah. Because I didn't use that. So if you've been going to, you've been exercising on a regular basis, and now you've gone back to a sedentary lifestyle, the gains that you picked up tend to start to diminish in a fairly rapid pace. It's a use it or lose it kind of an approach when it comes to exercise and fitness. Good point. Yeah, you don't want to lose those gains. I mean, it's like running in mud. If you're not utilizing that and making those advances, you're just kind of staying in place and stagnating. Oh, sure. And elderly people and anybody is really at risk for getting atrophy and losing muscle tone pretty quickly. Absolutely. Right? Absolutely. And the other benefit is when you're physically active, you're more and your mental state improves. I mean, just think when you are in a situation where you're in pain or you're easily winded, that sort of thing, you don't tend to want to do as much, and your mental state suffers because when you're in pain, what do you think about? You think about the pain. It's very difficult to focus on other things.
Right.
On family or vacations or whatever the case might be. You just know that you hurt. And when your mental state is healthy, what happens is you're more likely to be able to deal with the ups and downs and drastic changes that life brings. And what are we facing right now? This is the most drastic change that any of us have seen in our lifetime. I've never seen anything like this.
None
And
of us.
like all of us, I've been through 9/11. I saw what happened to that. This is far beyond that.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
So,
real quick, let me just remind everybody who's joining us via Zoom or Facebook Live, you're listening to the Real Chat Daddy Show, or you're watching, however you're getting it in. We're so happy that you guys are here tonight. It's the Wednesday night edition of the show. As you guys all know, normally my co-host is Javon DeLynn Donegan, but on Wednesday night, she's Professor Javon DeLynn. So each and every Wednesday night, I'll have a different special guest co-host. And so tonight is actress, comedian, all around great woman. She is the creative director, founder, and owner of Laura Orrico Public Relations, a national public relations firm that has some really amazing clients. Her clients are all about positivity and how to respark that energy in your life. And Laura has been on the radio with me several times, but tonight she's hanging out with me. She's at her wonderful abode doing her broadcast, and we're just honored to have her here with us this evening. Laura, how's it coming so far with you being the co-host on Zoom with me tonight?
I'm enjoying this. Just let me know if I'm talking too much.
No,
I'm
no.
loving it.
Are you kidding me? No, look, I love my female co-host because you ladies take that conversation, let it run. You know, I'm gonna lay down in a minute. You know, I have to create this show. So I know you're doing a great job.
No,
And our
I'm
very
enjoying
special
that.
guest, thank you. Our very special guest that we're talking to right now is Coach Mario Koonce. He's a fitness expert, bodybuilder. Coach Mario is all about the boom, boom, baby. It's all about getting your body together, seeing that we're in this shutter in place mode right now. And I'm just telling you guys, I keep saying it over and over again on this show, keep your ass in the house. But as you ass in the house. You're eating more, you're sitting around more, you're not being as active as you once would be. And so Coach Mario is here tonight to talk to us about what we need to do to keep ourselves moving. Laura posed a great question to him. She has a mom who has an autoimmune disease, as well as a 100-year-old grandmother. And both of these ladies are limited to what they can do. But then if you talk about the young, urban, and funky, like myself, Mario, and Laura, we still now need a little help. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what Coach Mario has been helping us with. And Coach Mario, let's
Yeah.
get back to you. What are some of the things that we can kind of do around? I don't even want to get into the fitness routine yet, as much as what are you suggesting we do just in our homes to get moving a little bit more?
Okay. If ever there was a wake-up call for the need for individuals, particularly in the African American community, to become fit and healthy and put more of a focus on health, it's now. I mean, even pre-pandemic, we were in bad shape. In the city of Chicago, for example, an African American person lives on average 8.8 years fewer than a white individual in the city of Chicago. So that's a significant number. Remember what we were told early on in the early stages of the pandemic. Those with pre-existing conditions like asthma and other chronic lung disorders, diabetes, heart disease, they're more susceptible to the virus. We're finding more information about that now. In the city of Chicago, African Americans account for 68% of the 118 deaths, and these were numbers from the other day, so I'm sure those numbers have increased now. Were 52% of the 5,000 confirmed coronavirus cases. Okay, so yeah, absolutely. So despite making up just 30% of the population, so what's that telling you? And these numbers are coming from the Chicago Department of Public Health. So I'm not just pulling these out of thin air. That means that we are dying at a rate nearly 6 times that of white or non-white, non-Hispanic white Americans in the city of Chicago. Now, there's different factors for this. There's external environmental factors. Now, what are those? Uh, Decades of inequality, institutional racism, inadequate healthcare, things like that. Now, those are beyond our control, but the things that we do have control over are the internal environmental factors. So, diabetes rates among African Americans double that of white Chicago. Death rates from lung disease more than 20% higher than the African American community as opposed to the white community. Almost 2 in 5 African Americans suffer from high blood pressure. That's a rate that's 25% higher than it is among whites. We're 20% more likely to die from heart disease and their counterparts. Okay, so these are real numbers. Among non-Hispanic blacks aged 20 and older, 63% of men and 77% of women are either overweight or obese. And then there's the factor of improper nutrition. So what is that saying? So all those conditions are conditions that are ripe for the coronavirus to take its toll. So what can we do about that sort of thing? Now we're all cooped up, right? We got shelter in place. We're really not supposed to be out. And I advise everyone to adhere to that because it's only going to get worse when individuals are out and they're interacting and they're not taking those precautions. I can't tell you how many times I've driven past and I've seen people congregating, no masks, no gloves, playing basketball, picnics. I'm like, what are you thinking about? So now if you're adhering to that, which everyone should be, we got shelter in place. So what are you doing? Problems that are associated with that have solutions. So one of the problems is that you're not as active. Your gym is closed. Okay, maybe you take a group fitness class. You can't participate in that anymore. Even if you're just a person that commutes to and from work, you're not walking to the train station or the bus station anymore. Maybe you have a job that's more physically active and you're not lifting those boxes. You're not climbing those flights of stairs, whatever the case might be. Your favorite restaurant is either closed or they've got reduced hours, those sorts of things. Boredom, because now you got excessive free time. You don't know what you're going to do with yourself. Right. So those are all problems. But conversely, you can turn that into positive.
Coach, I'm gonna make some more brownies. No, I'm just joking. Right? That's the wrong answer. That's the wrong answer, right?
So exactly. So some of the solutions. At-home workouts. You can work out at home, and I'm going to demonstrate some of those things later on in the broadcast. You can use technology to take up the space where you're physically around individuals. Now you can do group classes and train with friends at home. Use technology to your advantage. Cardiovascular activity can be conducted in a relatively small amount of space. You don't need a treadmill. You don't need a stationary bike. All really you need is your body weight, and you can get a good cardiovascular workout. It's the perfect time. Those restaurants that are closed that I was talking about, it's a perfect time to either learn how to cook or reassociate yourself with cooking. If you've never done it before, you can find tons of healthy recipes online. If you're old school and you got a cookbook, time to crack that thing open. Preparing your own meals has its benefits. You're controlling the way that the food is prepared, the ingredients that are going into it, how it's served, all that. So that's a benefit. It's not really a detriment. And you can break up that boredom by engaging in healthy habits. If you tend to be more sedentary, watching a lot of TV, sitting on the couch, break that up. Use commercial time, and typically commercials run from anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes. That can be your time, your signal, your trigger to get off the couch and start to do some exercises. So maybe for one of those 3 minutes, I'm doing some jumping jacks. Maybe the next minute, I'm doing some squats. Maybe the next minute I'm just jogging in place, whatever it takes. Yeah. So you can break up that monotony and still remain physically active.
What great ideas.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. When you're
Laura,
trying to get started,
Coach, I feel bad.
Why?
He said during the commercial break, I should be getting up doing something. I do. To the refrigerator.
Me too.
To the bathroom.
Cheez-Its, I told you.
To the liquor cabinet. Right. So look. Oh my God, I feel so sinful. I feel like a fat slut. Oh my God.
Well, Art, how about some walking lunges to the refrigerator?
Oh, yeah.
We can do that. All right.
Are you kidding me? Man, I would drop my hummus and carrots if I did some damn squats refrigerator back to the couch.
Our-
No, I'd waste my wine. No, I'm sorry. I digress. Look, no more fitness guests on this show. I'm sorry. Go ahead, coach. Yes.
All right. So getting started, that's usually the hardest part for a lot of people, especially when you're coming from a position where you've been sedentary for a long time, or in some cases for forever.
Yeah.
The first thing that I recommend doing, and these are my own suggestions, these are just things that work for me. You have to determine your why. So why is it that I want to engage in increased levels of physical activity?
Mhm.
And there could be a myriad reasons for that. And there's no bad answer to that. It could be because you want to improve your overall health. It could be injury recovery. It could be vanity. You know, I just like to look a certain way. I like the compliments I get when I'm fit and the way my clothes hang on me when I'm in good shape. It could be revenge. Maybe you broke up with a boyfriend or girlfriend. You want to lose those pounds, show up to them looking really fit and healthy and good, and make them regret the day that they let you go, whatever the case might be. It could be preparation for a special event. Maybe you got a class reunion coming up. I know there's not any of those going on, but maybe a vacation, whatever the case might be. Whatever it takes to motivate yourself, use it, because
Yeah.
that's what's going to drive you, and you're less likely to fall off the wagon when you have a good, solid why. You want to be able to set up and maintain mental cues. Now, what I mean by that are just little triggers that remind you why it is that you're doing what you're doing. It could be a note on your refrigerator or your mirror. It could be an old photo, the way that you looked maybe a few years ago. It could be an image of someone whose physique you admire. Now, be careful of that one, because with celebrities, I mean, a lot of times, really all they have to do is spend time looking good. You know,
Yeah.
so they're not going to regular 9 to 5s. They've
That can
got
be an
personal-
unrealistic.
exactly. They got personal chefs. You know, they've got gym studios that they have access to. So don't be careful of that. All right, but I mean, it's good to have some motivating factor, but you need to be careful what you're using as a goal, as a motivator for you.
Good to know. Good stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Laura,
absolutely.
you have another question for our expert? We still have time. He's got plenty more time with us, but go right ahead.
Oh, Mario, if you wanted to continue, did I cut you off?
No, not at all. I tend to start running off of the mouth when we're talking about this topic. So.
Well, I was going to ask you, so for me, somebody who already, like I said, works from home, so I'm used to this part of all this stuff going on. I'm not good at getting up. Sometimes I'll start working at 8, 9 o'clock, sometimes 7 in the morning, and I'll get up to eat. So I'll try to like stand at the counter while I eat, and then I'll sit back down again.
Yeah.
And that's all I've done all day. So I like what you said about the Post-it notes, putting up a sticky note as a reminder, or maybe setting timers. What else do you recommend for someone who's sitting at home working at their desk all day, that especially someone that's not used to this type of lifestyle?
Yeah, when you're initially getting started, what's going to help you out is to establish some kind of routine or habit. And that's even pre-pandemic. All right, that's just in the regular, right? So if you've made the decision you want to start to become physically fit, and I see this all the time with members that were in my gym and that sort of thing, it was the folks that had a set time. They would come in at 8 a.m. or your workout time or your time to go out and jog on the track is going to be 6:30 after you get home, or whatever the case might be. And you establish a routine. That is something that's going to make a big difference, as opposed to that individual that says, oh, I'm going to work out when I have time.
Yeah.
It seldom happens. And why is that? Life gets in the way.
Yep.
There's always chores to be done. There's errands to run. There's things that you have to do for work or your kids or whatever the case might be. And you're left over with time scraps. And what I mean by time scraps, whatever little segment of time you got left in the day, that's what you have for yourself. And a lot of times you're so burnt out and tired, you don't feel like doing it.
Yep. I can relate to that for sure.
Right. Yeah. So if you can set a specific time, that's going to help you a ton. The nutrition aspect, that's kind of where I left off on that last one. Incremental changes are best. And I noticed this through observation of individuals. People that go on these really strict diets and they make these hugely significant changes, they tend to fall off.
Right.
So if you focus on incremental changes, so as opposed to a full liter of Pepsi, and I know people that drink a full liter of Pepsi a day. All right, maybe you're doing 2 cups of Pepsi a day. I don't recommend Pepsi at all, but if that's what it takes to wean you off of that, Exactly. Do that. And then maybe substitute the other ones with what you just
Perfect.
displayed right there, water. Exactly. If you're not used to eating vegetables, okay? And the thought of loading up or piling up a plate full of vegetables is really disconcerting to you. Just talk about, decide to set yourself up just smaller portions of that. Just add in a couple of that.
Yeah.
And then you can start to make those increases later on. These are just things that are going to help to keep you on track. As
Oh
opposed
yeah.
to, again,
And healthy food is going to keep your weight maintained, or lose weight if you need to, and keep your energy levels up during this time when we're not as active as we could be.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Portion control is another one. Now, I know we're not going out to restaurants anymore, but how many people go out and they have a meal and they feel like they have to finish everything? Okay. Get in the habit of maybe half the meal. I appreciate your honesty. But maybe you want to get in the habit of maybe half the meal tonight, and then the other half is for lunch tomorrow. Okay, you're
I
kind
like that idea. I
of
try to do that.
controlling those urges. Yeah.
I'm the king of doggy bags. I believe in doggy bags big time. Since my weight loss surgery, I eat half of it in the restaurant, and then I bring the other half home. But here lately, I've been having fat boy days, and then I want an extra order of everything as well too. But I do when I go to a restaurant only eat half of the portion. Yes.
That's
Okay.
smart. They
All
say
right.
stop eating when you're full, and sometimes that's hard to do, but I think it's a good point. I've tried to do that in the last couple of years, and as soon as you feel full, stop putting pressure on myself to like finish the meal. If I'm out at a nice restaurant or something, take it home, like you
Yeah.
guys have. Both of you,
Laura, I'm so glad you brought that up. And that's not just something that you just kind of cooked up. A lot of times it's ingrained in us from early childhood. What
Yeah.
happens with a lot of kids, right? You're having dinner at the table and
Right.
you want to get up and play or something. And
Right.
you're told you cannot leave this table until you clean your plate. Okay. And that mentality sticks with you. Things that we learn at an early age tend to follow us along into adulthood. So, it's not just something that we develop, when we're grown and that sort of thing. A lot of times it's what we've learned. I was told that you have to clean. It was like a reward to become a member of what my parents called the Clean Plate Club. And I
Yeah.
finished everything on my plate and they'd clap and, I felt like
Right.
a big boy and that sort of thing. But is that something that we want to do, when we're adults and our metabolism starts to slow?
Yeah, you really have to put some thought into that. I know I did at the table when I'm out and I'm enjoying it and it's so good and you want to keep eating it because it's so good, but you're full. So it's just knowing when you're full and just stopping,
Yeah,
taking it home.
You
absolutely.
know
And
what? I think I was destined to be a fat kid since I was young. My grandmother was a phenomenal cook. My dad was a professional chef and involved in several restaurants when I was younger. My mom was a much better cook than my dad, and he was a professional chef, but she was Southern and had some of the best food skills ever. And so I think that people who are raised around food and people who know great food, it's really hard for us to say, loose here, Satan. Don't be good to my lips, Satan. Don't be delicious. Don't be flavorful and tasty. And so I'm wondering, Chef Mario, like in times like now, what would you recommend for us to maybe eat now for breakfast, lunch, and dinner during this time of sitting in place and not moving around? Because see, listen, I want to get up and make some chicken and dressing on a Monday morning. You get what I'm saying? And remember, that was Big Mama's meal on a Sunday. I want to get up right now and go make some lasagna. So, and it's just, me at this
Making me
point. So,
hungry.
what advice would you want to give?
In the morning, I would suggest some sort of slow digesting carbohydrate. Oatmeal is great. And you can do a lot of things with oatmeal. You can put fruit in it. If you want to add skim milk to it, that sort of thing. If you want to sweeten it, you could you can throw honey in it, that sort of thing. So something that a slow digesting carb is going to stay with you longer. So you're not feeling as hungry later in the day. So
And then you don't get that drop after having like a heavy carb, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, as opposed to late in the evening, you probably want to avoid those carbs like that because you're going to be going to bed and they digest slower and they're just kind of sitting on the body. So
Okay,
That's
Chef Mario. Now you need to, we slow. It's a lot of people on here like me that's slow. So now you took that oatmeal first thing in the morning. See, I'm looking at 2 to 3 packs of that oatmeal is already flavored. When I'm sure you probably want us to eat some boring ass oatmeal. Am I right?
Yeah, I'm recommending the
I
bar.
figured that. So please explain that to us slow people on this bus. Because
Okay.
I want the brown sugar cinnamon, then I'm still gonna put something in it. But
Yeah.
I'm sure you probably want us to eat something that tastes like you could put wallpaper up with it, right?
I would hope it wouldn't be that bad. But I'll give you some of the things. Now, the packets, the flavored packets that you're talking about, that's kind of a later entrant into the oatmeal market, right? Back in the day,
Okay.
when we were kids, there was just regular quick oats oatmeal. You put it in, you boiled it in water, you throw in a little bit of milk, that sort of thing. You cooked it on a stove. You didn't microwave it or anything like that. It wasn't pre-sweetened. That's what I'm talking about. So one of the things that I like to do with in addition to fruit, I'll throw peanut butter in it. I think that tastes really good. If you want to thicken it up a little bit, you can use skim milk, 2% milk, those sorts of things. Smoothies are fantastic. They're really easy to make. They're a great way to start the day off. You can be as creative as you want with it. If you like grapes, you can throw grapes in there. If you like blackberries, you can use blackberries. If you like a certain type of yogurt, you can throw that in. Blend those sorts of things in. If you like a particular fruit juice, you can use that as kind of your base and start your smoothie from there. So those are just some basic things that you can look at now.
Well, now, Coach Mario, if I could cut you off for just a second, we've had people join us on Facebook and they are just really chiming in tonight. They're enjoying this segment. Let me do this real quick and then we'll come back. Hold our thought right there. Hey, everybody, you're tuned in to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show right here on Zoom, broadcasted live on my Facebook page. Each and every day, if you go to the realchatdaddy.com website, the realchatdaddy.com website, there's a link for you to click on every evening and it'll bring you right to the Zoom broadcast. And you can go to my Facebook page, which is Art Sims. Tonight on the show with me is our very special guest co-host. Javonda Lynn is only available Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursday nights when we do the show. She's Professor Javonda Lynn on Wednesday nights. But sitting in as my co-host tonight is public relations expert, actress and model, comedian, all around great woman, my dear friend Laura Orrico. And she was here earlier tonight talking about rebranding ourselves during times like this. We're in the midst of a global pandemic. We've never experienced anything like this. The last time something of this magnitude happened was in 1919, and that was the Spanish flu. And Laura was saying her grandpa was 2 years old when that happened. My dear friend's mom was 2 years old when it happened. But for most of us, 9/11 would probably be the most realistic thing that has happened in this day and age. And now we're in the midst of a global pandemic. And so to talk to us also tonight about maintaining our weight, staying active, and doing the right things is Coach Mario Koonce. And so I wanted to bring everybody up to speed who have just joined us via Zoom, joined us on Facebook Live. I just don't like you guys to be hanging out there. In just a little bit, Coach Mario, let me get back to what the question was. You were talking about making a smoothie in the morning. Doesn't certain fruits have a lot of sugars in them? And should we be worried about those sugars? And is there anything we can do to balance the sugar out?
Absolutely. Sugars that you're referring to that are contained in fruit are referred to as fructose. It's a naturally occurring sugar that you find in different types of fruits. Now, I tell individuals that are concerned about that sort of thing, unless there's an underlying medical condition and you're really trying to get in shape, I'd rather see those sugars that an individual is taking in come from a source like a piece of fruit as opposed to a Snickers candy bar. Okay, so that's the approach that I take. Now, if an individual is, their preference is to consume fruits and that sort of thing, I would say you definitely want to go that route as opposed to some food that's high in fat, high in calories, high in sugar content, and that sort of thing. You can do a lot worse by eating fruit than you can in utilizing other food sources. And now we're talking about empty calories and that sort of thing.
Right.
So I would not spend as much time being afraid of, well, if I eat too much fruit, I'm going to blow up. That's kind of the approach that I take with that.
That's a good point.
Going on into other meal selections and that sort of thing, fresh is always best. And we've all heard, most of us have heard about the proper way to shop. You want to shop the perimeter because that's where your dairy is. That's where your meats are. That's where your unprocessed foods tend to be. The center aisles are typically where you find the crap. That's where the chips are, the sugary cereals, the sodas, that sort of thing. When you're preparing those meals, you want to balance it out. So we're talking about, throwing in those vegetables. So if you're lunch, for example, I just bought a pack of salmon patties the other day. Never tried them before. They're prepackaged, but they were really good, and the nutritional content was great. So I happen to enjoy cooking, so I don't mind doing that sort of thing. But again, it gives me a source of control, and in terms of the types of foods that I'm taking in, and it kind of relieves some of that boredom too. It gives me something to do.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
all cooped up in the house now, so why not spend that time doing that?
And you're getting creative with food choices. I have a question, Mario. How about hydration? Water drink.
Can you see my notes? Because that's the next topic I was going to talk about.
There's a reflection behind. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, that must be it.
Look, y'all don't tell the secrets of my show now. Please don't tell the secrets of my show. It's all smoke and mirrors. You understand? And I cannot stand up. If I stand up, the whole show will get canceled. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Laura.
So
it's so hard to, make sure throughout the day, especially when you're at home, how much water intake you've had. We're all supposed to have our 8 glasses a day, 8 to 11, right? So depending on the person and your body weight and your age, and if you are retaining water, what do we do? Mario?
Keep it handy, keep it accessible. For example, I keep my bottle here. When it gets empty, I fill it up. Now there you go. Now there are standards that the medical profession has set for proper hydration. There you go.
I got a lot.
for proper hydration and water intake. For women, it's 9 glasses per day, and a glass is determined by 8 ounces.
8 ounces. So it's really like 4.5 of these large.
Absolutely.
Because this is about 16.
Exactly. So it's 9 for women. It's 13 for men. Okay. So when you keep it, it makes it a lot easier when you have it handy. I keep water in the car, keep it in the fridge, keep it at your desk at work, and just throughout the day, because a lot of people, I can't drink 13 glasses of water. If you're sipping on it constantly, it doesn't seem to be as big a chore to do. So some people can go through an entire day without drinking water at all. Yeah. And, I get feedback and it just makes me laugh sometimes. Well, I had coffee today, or I had Kool-Aid. That's made with water.
Not the same.
It ain't the
all
same.
Those diet drinks are dehydrating.
Right. That's like saying I ate peanuts, but, it came in the form of an M&M.
Right. Exactly. And like I said, the diet drinks are dehydrating. Caffeine is a diuretic, so you're not hydrating yourself. And absolutely. I'm so often nagging my mom to drink water because it does have a lot of health repercussions if you don't drink water.
Absolutely. The body starts to slowly shut down. The body craves water. So you definitely want to keep that. Like I said, the easiest thing is to just keep it handy, get in the habit of doing it.
Sure.
Okay? And then proper rest, that's another one.
Yeah.
And especially in times like this, it's very difficult to do because we're all stressed out.
And your mind is running. Yeah,
exactly. It's hard to wind down. Now, I'm a very bad violator of this principle. I admit I don't sleep enough. My sleeping habits are all over the place. Adults need, on average, anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of sleep per night. And even when you're involved in the family, toddlers need 12 hours of sleep. Children's ages 3 to 6, anywhere from 10 to 12. Children's between 7 and 12 years old, 10 to 11 hours. Teenagers, anywhere between 8 and 9. So we all have to get that proper rest in order for our bodies to function optimally.
Absolutely. And something that helps me, because my mind's always running, because I'm so busy with my business, helping my mother. Acting career is my hobby, so that's not stressing me out so much. But I find getting things off my mind and onto paper before I go to bed. So if that helps anybody, I'm sharing that because it has helped me a lot. If something is stressing me out or something's bothering me, I'll write it down. I need to have a resolution if there's problems or issues or whatever, no matter what it is. So, or if there's a lot of to-dos in my mind of things I need to do, I get them off my mind and onto paper before I go to bed.
That's a good strategy. And especially now, we're bombarded with everything is coronavirus and COVID-19 and pandemic. And when you're watching those things, particularly late at night, because it's 24-hour coverage,
Oh, sure.
it's weighing on you. And
It's so accessible now.
exactly, you can find it anywhere. So that can actually gear you up to the point where it's hard to get rest because you're stressed. You're bombarded with all these negative factors that affect the way that we are able to wind down and rest and relax and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. You know what I do before I go to bed is I'll watch something funny. And Art, I don't know if we talked about this before, if this is something you do too, but before I go to bed, I will put in an old sitcom. I'll watch Lucy or Seinfeld or The Cosby Show or something that makes me laugh. Because I feel feeding your brain something positive, especially all the time, but especially during this time of such negativity, something funny before you go to sleep to feed your brain something positive. So you go to bed less stressed out and all worked up from all this,
Art, do you do anything to kind of relax and unwind before you're ready to call it a night?
Plenty of sex, drugs, and not. It's the Real Chat Daddy Show. Plenty of sex, drugs, and alcohol. Yes, that's what life is based off of. No, in all actuality, I really do enjoy talking to my dear friend every night. I have a couple of friends that we close the day out. We'll talk about, what happened on this show. We'll kind of do a recap of the day. If we have plans to do anything the next day or work on something. I talk to my significant other every night before I go to sleep. Long distance, and friendships right now, you're not connecting with people because everybody's staying in their homes. But I'm like you, Laura, I tend to watch something that is hilarious or funny at night before I go to bed. I'm with you. I'm one of those people that I can watch, like you said, the Three Stooges, I Love Lucy, Martin, any of the Brady Bunch, just any of that type of thing for mindless entertainment before I go to sleep at night. And I try to stay away from my phone as much as possible, even though it's sleep in bed with me. I try to stay away from my phone as much as possible.
It's hard.
Coach Mario, is that a good answer? Sex, drugs, and
you always have a way of putting me on the spot, Whatever works for you, Art. As long as you're able to sleep.
You asked, Coach.
I did ask.
You asked, Coach.
I did.
Sex, drugs, and alcohol.
I'm sitting in front of my wine rack.
Oh,
right. Sex, drugs, and alcohol, baby. I'm telling you. Coach Mario, I wanted to find out of some other things. Right now, there are a lot of fitness scams out here. Yeah. There are a lot of, people, medicine you can take. Everybody's been on the bandwagon of taking more vitamins. I'm going to tell you the funniest thing. Starting the beginning of this year, I started just taking vitamins out of the blue. Little did I know that taking these vitamins now would really help you. And so how can we protect ourselves from fitness scams that we're seeing on social media and other places?
There are a lot of them. They're coming out of the woodwork now. And wherever whenever you've got some kind of a crisis, there's always going to be someone that's out there ready to take advantage of it. If you just scour social media, for example, there's just so many of them out there. Extreme discounts on products and machinery and equipment that's normally really high priced. So you cannot buy a Peloton cycle for $250. You see that advertised. It's that's a key indicator that it's a scam. Any type of class or workshop that's requiring an upfront fee, you need to make sure you do your research on that before you do it. Weight loss products are prime real estate for scammers. For example, if I'm a big fan of Shark Tank, and you go on there, you promote your product, you're trying to get investors to buy in. And what scammers have done now is they'll basically Photoshop the heck out of it. So they'll take their product, they'll have a picture of it, and then they'll superimpose pictures of the sharks on there with some taglines and that, and it looks as though this company, this product has been featured on Shark Tank.
Oh,
And exactly. So now they even added a disclaimer at the end of their show. Unless, they give you a website to go to, unless this product or this company has appeared on our show, it is a scam. It is not legitimate. They are not associated with us. Uh, Anytime you're purchasing anything that you ingest online, you want to make sure you do your research for it.
yeah,
And if it looks too good to be true, it's the old adage, it probably is. I got an example of one. I don't know, hopefully you can see it, but it's some weight loss products that's out there. So the first picture is, obviously someone that's got a little bit out of shape. And then 10 days later, after taking their product, they look like that. I'm here to tell you.
If it did work, that would be scary because what's in it that would be doing that if it was real?
Absolutely. Well, this is not.
Wait. What's the website where I can order some? I'll tell y'all if it works. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Art, I want to see you live a nice long life, so I ain't gonna give it to you.
Oh, look, give me that damn website. In 10 days, that belly went in like that.
And it's, and one of the key indicators, you always want to look for the misspelling. So the tagline on this is right. You probably can't see it on the camera, but it says tap below link for getting information on losing weight.
That ain't nobody but my cousin. He's a successful entrepreneur. He just flunked out in English. And, don't hold that against him. But he has done some amazing things, and I'm sure his work. Y'all ain't nothing but player haters. I digress.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, you definitely want to watch out for those things because they're out quite a bit. So last thing about, and then hopefully I can have an opportunity to demonstrate a couple brief exercises.
Yes.
All right, good. So we already talked about establishing a routine. So same time of day for your exercise routines, if you're able to. You want to determine how your workout's going to be structured. When I go into the gym, I'm working arms today, or I'm working legs, or I'm doing exercises for my abdominals. So think about how that's going to look. You want to visualize. I found that this helps me a lot. I actually visualize my workout before I go into the gym. Say again.
I thought we lost you. We've been having trouble with Wi-Fi. I think maybe people on Wi-Fi. Look, we like, Lord, don't lose him. So yes, Coach, we actually do have some time, and you do want to do a couple of fitness presentations for us while we online, right?
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Yep. So let me show some of that. But leading into that, you want your workouts to become a habit. Now, there used to be anything that you do for 21 days becomes a habit. It's actually, research has actually found that it's 66 days. So if you perform any behavior for 66 days, it becomes ingrained in your lifestyle. So that's the goal. So I'm saying that to say you want to be patient. I tell individuals all the time that weight didn't come on overnight. It ain't going away overnight. So be patient with your workouts. So just one of the creative things that you can do in order to, get started on a fitness routine, break up some of that boredom, start to establish some healthy habits, and be a little creative with it. This is, I basically refer to this as playing card fitness. I just got an ordinary deck of cards, right? Mm-hmm. So what I have done, and what you can do is you can use these to set up your own exercise routine. So what you want to do is, and it's really simple, you're going to take your cards, and I'm going to assign a particular exercise to each card. So in this case, I'm going to say, so I've got my cards here. So my suits are going to be, so squats, I can say those will be diamonds, okay? Mm-hmm. So that is my squat card. Push-ups, I'm going to say are hearts. Maybe jump rope, I'll make those spades. And then crunches, I'll say those will be clubs. So most people have a deck of playing cards. If not, you can get them for about $1 or whatever. So I'm basically going to, in my deck of cards, I just randomly pull. All right, I start my workout routine. And let's say I pull out, let's say I'm going to say the ace. All right, so the face cards are going to be, the numerical designation. So I'm going to say an ace is going to be worth 14. A king is going to be worth 13. A queen is 12. Jack is 11. And then all your numbers, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, all the way down to your 2. So when I pull that card, in this case, I pulled an ace of spades. So that means that because I've assigned my exercise to it, in this case, it's going to be jump rope. I'm looking for 14 repetitions of jump rope. And I can do that a couple of ways. I'm going to move this around so hopefully you can kind of see me and I don't lose the connection. So you're going on a walk with me around the room a little bit.
Oh, and we get free eye candy tonight.
Wow, look at that.
My show rating's gonna really be through the roof. Right, look, right. Free eye candy too? Yes.
All right, so I've got my little jump rope, and you can do this a couple of different ways. So if you actually have a jump rope, I pulled that ace of clubs, right? So I need 14 repetitions of jump rope.
Yeah.
7, 8,
Okay.
11, 12, 13. I just hit my 14.
Okay.
You go back to my deck. I pull another card. In this case, it's diamonds. All right, so with diamonds, those are my squats, right? So I go right into my squat movement. I'm going to have the arms going forward. I go into a full seated position, come back up, and I need to knock out 4 of those. 2, 3, and 4.
Nice.
And I go back to my deck and I just keep pulling. I can get as creative as I want because I can assign different exercises to different cards.
Oh, that's great.
A lot of people may say, I don't know how to jump rope. I haven't jumped rope in a long time, whatever the case might be. You can simulate a jump rope. I'm just going through the same motion. I just don't have a rope. The action is the same. I'm still getting the cardiovascular benefit from it.
Right.
So playing card fitness is a real good way to involve physical activity, and it doesn't take a lot. You don't need a lot of equipment for that. If you do have exercise equipment, so for example, dumbbells, you can do a ton of those, different things with that. Of course, I can do curls. I can do overhead presses. If I don't have equipment, I can get creative. But let me grab something real quick.
Okay. Gosh. Oh, nice idea, Art. I should run upstairs and get mine. I have some push-up too.
Right.
Dumbbells, but maybe I can go to my cabinet and I got cans of soup or vegetables.
Perfect. Yeah.
I can do curls with those. Okay. I can do cross-body punches with those. I can do lateral dumbbell raises with those.
Yeah.
And out. So there's a lot of things that I might be able to take advantage of, just typical household items and still get a good workout.
Keep the muscle tone while we're all stuck at home.
Absolutely. Stretching is key, particularly if you're primarily inactive or sedentary. Some basic stretches, quadricep stretches. I'm basically going to raise one leg, grab it at the ankle, and pull it up and hold. Now, if I have balance issues, I want to hold on to some stable object. Okay. I typically hold a stretch for anywhere from 30 to 60 seconds.
Okay.
Switch to the next.
Oh, Art is still going. Art, I don't have anything. I only have wine bottles right now. Is that?
That's all right. That's all right.
That's got to be down with that wine bottle. So yeah, you can use that. So
got a little more weight going. This is an old bottle from 2006. Okay, vintage.
Yeah, that's vintage. That really is. Oh my goodness. Look, Laura, it's either vintage or vinegar. One of the two.
I know. We'll find out
Right.
when I crack this open.
Right. Either vintage or vinegar. One
I
of
should
the
have
two.
two. Let's see. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
another there's typically going to be
Let's let the coach finish up. Go ahead, coach.
there's typically going to be modifications for different exercises and that sort of thing. Because a lot of people say, I'd love to be able to do push-ups, I just can't. So there might be a few different reasons for that. A typical push-up, and I might have to angle this down a little bit. Are you still able to see me all right?
Yeah.
We got you. Yep.
All right.
Eye candy in full effect.
All right. So a typical push-up, you've got the hips elevated and level. I'm going to bring it down close to the floor and then bring it back up. A lot of people might not be able to do that for a couple reasons. Maybe they don't have the upper body strength. So you can modify that. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm crossing the legs at the ankles and elevating the feet. Makes it a little bit easier. It's a modified push-up. So a lot of people have an easier time doing that. And I perform my exercise.
Oh,
A lot
that's
of people say, well, I have bad knees. It hurts to be on the floor. I can modify that as well.
oh yeah.
Take a regular towel, fold
Mhm.
it up for a couple of layers, use that to pad the knees. It's much more comfortable to perform that exercise now. So I can still go back into that modified push-up.
And
And
these
I
are
have the
great things
benefit
you can do at
of
home.
padding
This is
underneath my knee.
nice.
Absolutely.
Easy,
Very good.
something for
Wow.
everybody.
I am impressed. I've learned a lot. Coach Mario, you always do an outstanding job. We've had a lot of great feedback on the Facebook page tonight, as well as people who are here with us on Zoom. Tonight's show has just been incredible. Coach Mario, tell people how once this stay in place is over, and you're doing some things online as well too. How can we connect and find out more information and some of the things you're doing to help us stay fit during this pandemic?
Definitely. My Facebook page is Vanguard, VAN, V as in Victor, ANGUARD. That's Vanguard Exercise Management. Because of the pandemic, what I've been doing is every day I've been posting different information in response to what's going on right now with the coronavirus, COVID-19.
Good.
Yes, so people can reach out to me that way. They can direct message me. I'm also on Instagram. I can also be contacted via email. That email address is Vanguard, VANGUARD, MGT, that's Mark George Thomas at yahoo.com. And I can be contacted that way as well. One of the things that I am able to do as a certified nutritionist, I can develop meal plans for individuals because that typically is the sticking point for most individuals. What do I eat? How do I eat? In what quantities? What should my macronutrient protein breakdown be when I'm preparing these meals? That sort of thing. So I help a lot with that. And then I base all that typically off of comprehensive health screenings and fitness assessments. So the way that works is I work with an individual, gather all that data, and then I'll put together a fitness package for them based off of that assessment. So things like their body fat percentage, body mass index,
That's wonderful and that's helpful.
what their ideal weight
Wow.
would be
Yeah.
based on factors,
Okay.
age and gender, a health risk assessment, a sample aerobic training program, a sample resistance training program, basically what type of workouts are best for that individual. Should be a combination of body weight, resistance training, machine weights, that sort of thing. A sample nutrition program, basically breaking down the macronutrient percentages that an individual should be consuming. Caloric requirements based on whatever the fitness goal is for an individual. Are you looking to lose weight, maintain weight, or gain weight? So you need to be taking a certain amount of.
Coach Mario, we about to run out of time in just a
I'm
little
sorry.
bit, but
Finally, a
standing
cardiovascular
job.
profile.
Excellent job.
Thank
All
you.
right, we appreciate you so much, Coach.
You're
Look,
welcome.
keep doing something to take us out. Do something. Keep the eye candy going. They excited. They love it. Laura Orrico, again, you've been another fabulous co-host tonight. Your closing thoughts to everybody, and how can we continue to find and follow you if we happen to need your services? And we'll continue to watch Coach finish up this workout. Go ahead, Laura.
Basic dumbbell curls.
Oh, awesome. I think I want to encourage everybody to stay home, stay safe, and pick up the phone and call somebody who you know is alone. Because we were talking about your mental health during this time, and there's people who are already alone, but now they're even more alone because they can't get out. So pick up the phone, check on people, do a Skype call, do a video chat, anything you can do to check on friends and family, and really, really think deep about people that you're in communication with, whether it's friends from work or close friends, family, acquaintances. Just reach out. I think that's so important now. And you can find me anywhere and everywhere on social media, Laura Orrico and Laura Orrico, ORRICO, Laura Orrico Public Relations. And through our website and just by Googling us, and we're everywhere.
Laura, I love you so very much, my friend. Tell your mom I said hello, and grandma, and I'll check in on you before the week is out. But you did an outstanding job. Whenever you want to come back and hang out with me here, please do so. God bless you and continued success.
Thank you. God bless you. And thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. Coach Mario, yay, you doing it. You doing it. They loving it. They really are. Thank you to everybody who's joined us via Facebook tonight. So many of you all are there. I didn't, not able to do shout outs tonight, but I'll do it tomorrow evening. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow night. We're going to talk all things entertainment for you and your family to do while we're in the midst of this global pandemic. We're talking about streaming services tomorrow night. We're going to review a couple of TV shows, a couple of the streaming show new series. We're going to talk about the latest music. Our good friend Chris Bass will be joining us tomorrow night. You guys know he always has a plethora of things for us to talk about entertainment. Javonda Lynn will be back tomorrow night, and we'll do the doggone thing tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I want to remind you guys to go to therealchatdaddy.com. That's therealchatdaddy.com. Your link is there each and every day for you to just join us right on Zoom. If you guys want to do a virtual tip for the show tonight, you guys know I'm an independent contractor and I'm in between gigs, but I thought I would do this to keep you guys entertained. On Cash App, it's at Chat Daddy. On Cash App, it's at Chat Daddy. I'm telling you now, the cash sign, Chat Daddy. I appreciate you guys. Until tomorrow night, I need you all to be safe, healthy, stay your ass in the house, wash your hands, sanitize your home, check on your family members, and be all about love, happiness, and good energy. Coach Mario is going to take us out with whatever he's doing, and we like, okay, Coach, do it. I love you, Laura.
Love you.
God bless you all.
God bless
Good night,
you.
Coach. Keep it moving, Coach.
Right. Laura, very nice meeting you. Art, great show. Thank you.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank you. God bless you all. I love you and have a great night. Thanks again. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.